Hello everybody, I'm back for some more stuff, and today I feel like I've been messing up my intro recently, so I'm glad to have shown in this instance that I can still get it done. And I don't mean just in the PEGCAST, I mean in a couple PEGCasts, in some back peg episodes. Of course, you'll never know which ones they are, because they're like a year out from now. But y'all, I'm driving through the fog! It's so foggy you can't even see to the end of the block right now. It's like freaking Silent Hill. It's like freaking scary fog right now. So, do with that what you will. But yeah, I'm driving back from my girlfriend's place. I love being over there. And this time I drove over because I had to drive her back to her house. And then after that, she helped me out with some work that I had. Because she has graduated. So she has like a job now, which is so crazy. I'm so proud of her. Because she has this job that's like not even an entry-level position. Sorry guys, I'm paying a lot of attention to driving because it's very foggy out, so I have to be very careful. But she has a job that's like not really an entry-level position. Granted, she is being paid minimum wage because it's a non-profit job. But oh my gosh, I'm stuck at the light. Sorry for all the Penguins that don't like my blinker once again. I'm gonna be stuck here for a while. It's like actually impossible to see. This is crazy. You can like barely see across the street. It's unreal. So, yeah, I drove out here, and she has a normal job, so she doesn't have that much to do over the weekend. She said she had like an hour or two of work, and she was just going to try to do that and then help me out. And what she was helping me out with is a couple things. So, excuse me, Penguins, I'm really sorry. That should be the end of the coughs, probably, but no promises, because, you know, we don't know. I had to do a little bit of normal homework, right? And then on top of that, I also had to, sorry. Okay, I'm just focused on driving because it's so difficult to see. On top of doing a little bit of normal homework, I'm working on some longer term stuff. So, I have recently been invited to interview at 2 grad schools. So I have to prepare for those. One of them is on Tuesday, and today is Sunday. It's currently 11:31, I think, but I can't really tell because my car says 11:33. And it's usually 2 minutes off. So I'm driving back sooner than usual, you know. I just have to be up by 9 tomorrow, so all should be well. I got invited to do these interviews, so I have to prepare for them. So I did a little bit of prep for that, and then on top of that, I have my senior comps, which means comprehensive assignment, which means capstone. And that, for me, in my major, is a big test. It's a big test on the entire major. So I have to basically know all of undergraduate psychology and be able to pass a big test on it. And I don't know if I've already described, like, the requirements, but to make sure that I'm not just reiterating the same stuff and to make sure that I'm not boring you guys, basically it all comes down to I have to just pass this test. It doesn't really matter that much Like, it basically doesn't matter at all if I do well or not, as long as I pass. So, because of that, I don't really know how to study just to pass. So I went to this group study session, and we started a psychology GRE, which is like, I don't know what GRE stands for, but basically it's like the SAT, like a general knowledge test, but for one specific subject instead of being for like everything, right? I'm gonna cough. Penguins, turn down the volume. Okay, you can bring it back. So yeah, I was doing the GRE. I was doing pretty well on it. If I just took that GRE, I definitely would pass, but something that's more difficult is that I'm also going to be tested on stats and methods. And what that means is I have to relearn how to do statistics for psychology, because I learned that so long ago and I just like don't know it anymore. Because when I took the class with Dr. Brian Kim, we had an equation sheet. And what that means is I didn't learn anything, I just used the equation sheet. And the reason he did that was because it's not like we won't be able to look up equations in the real world, which is like reasonable, you know, it's reasonable to structure your class that way. The only problem is that now I have to take a test on it, and I don't know any of it, and I never really did. So I'm gonna have to learn some of the stats, but I have something like 2 weeks to figure that out, because the test is on the 15th of February. And I don't know if that rings any bells for you guys. It's the day after Valentine's Day, which this year happens to land on a Saturday. So I should be hanging out with my girlfriend that day. But no. It's a crime, I feel. And I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is proctoring this exam does not like their significant other. Because why else would they be stuck proctoring an exam for a bunch of kids that just want to graduate? You know? And it's not even like this test is supposed to weed people out. Like, everyone is supposed to be able to pass. Because they don't want anyone to fail. They don't want anyone to not graduate, because that looks really bad for their statistics. So they need us to all pass, or at least pass on a retake. Because if you fail, then you retake it, and if you fail again, then you write an essay. So it's like basically impossible to not graduate because of how you do on your comps. But, you know, I have to study for that, especially because of my... Sorry, I'm merging. Especially because of my complete lack of knowledge about stats. So I was doing the GRE with my girlfriend. She was doing some work, and then she was also my answer key, which was really, really nice. Very sweet of her. I'm honestly indebted. She was extremely helpful. I don't know if she knows, because, like, I was basically just saying, is it C? Yes. Is it D? Yes. Is it A? For 43? Yeah. A, yes. You know, we would just, like, go back and forth like that. I don't know if she knows, but that made it so much easier. Because, first of all, I wasn't looking at the answer key and secretly getting the answers, but also, it just made everything go smoother, and it was, like, nice because I was with her. And everything is better when I'm sitting next to her, to be honest. Except, no, basically everything. I don't know what would be. Oh, maybe if I was, like, talking with someone about their close feelings and Cami wasn't allowed to know, then maybe, right? Then it would be bad if she was there too. But anyways, yeah, I really like her, and I'm so grateful that she was helping me with that. And then I had to figure out what I like about the schools that I'm applying to, because I applied to a bunch of schools, and I don't really know what differentiates them. Just because I applied to the schools that seemed like a good fit. So now that I have these interviews, I have to really like buckle down and figure out what I'm going to say. And I did a bunch of interview practice with my mom, who also, thank you so much, Mom. I know you'll probably never hear this, but I am endlessly grateful for your help and support in my preparation. And I really hope it pays off, because I feel like if it does, it'll be like a victory for both of us. Because I'll succeed, but like, she takes a lot of pride in my successes, and also she helped a lot with this, so. And I've been wanting this forever. I mean, I've been complaining about how I have to do undergrad to her for years, because a lot of what I'm learning in undergrad is not that applicable. And I think, especially as I'm studying for the as I'm taking the practice GRE to study for my comps exam, I'm realizing that a lot of it is applicable. It's good to know all the theory and the science behind how we think the brain functions and whatnot before you start talking with people, just because having that theoretical basis is pretty helpful and pretty important. But that being said, like, a lot of it is just like unrelated to what I want to do, and it feels like I'm just like in this school to get a paper so that I can then apply to grad school where they're going to teach me more specialized things that I'm actually like interested in learning about. And because of that feeling, I just have been like complaining about it forever. I've been like, I just want to go straight to grad school. Like, it's so tiring. I can't believe I have to do all this, blah, 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 XYZ. And she has like been really supportive, and she understands the way I feel. And she feels my pain. So I think getting to grad school would be really cool, because she would finally get to see me succeed too. So that would be great. But yeah, she helped me practice my interviews. So I've thought through a lot of answers. I have my general basis of the stuff I want to say. There are things that I'll remind myself of. Like, I want to make sure that I bring up my optimism, because I feel that I'm a very optimistic person, and I let that spread to other people. Like that other time in the PEGCAST where I was saying, if you see a bird, look at him. Because there is beauty to be seen everywhere, and there's love everywhere all around you. Like, I feel like that's something I really pride myself on, is letting my optimism shine through and spread to other people, right? And I want to make sure that I bring that up, because I think that is not something that everyone else will say, and also something that I just feel is really like important about who I am at the core. So that's what I want to talk about, or that's one of the things that I'll like make sure to read up on and refresh myself before my interview. And yeah, what else am I gonna say? So I was just hanging out with my girlfriend, and I was really bummed to find out that I'm gonna have my comps on the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. But she reminded me, despite obviously being like disappointed and like feeling really bad for me as well, just being like, wow, that sucks, like I can't believe they would do that to you. And I was already so done. I was so frustrated. I was just like quick to get frustrated at everything. Like, I was so done. My boss texted me at like 9:30 p.m. Hey, can you work tomorrow? And it was during a time that I had already told her I was going to be at a study session for my comps, which she has to understand because I work at the Oxy bookstore. So she's like affiliated with the school, and she knows how comps works. And I have explained to her that I was going to be busy. So she's like, hey, can you work from 3 to 6:15? And I'm like, no, I can't. So that like drove me up a wall, And it normally I would just be like, oh, whatever, like blah, blah, blah. But I was like mad. So in the midst of all this, Cami is being very kind to me and, you know, reminding me that we weren't even going to do Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day or the weekend of. We were going to do it the weekend after. Because the weekend of Valentine's Day is Genesis weekend. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but Genesis is basically the Super Bowl of Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's like the biggest tournament of the year, and especially now because more and more big tournaments are falling by the wayside. So, like, the Big House completely shut down. All the events run by BTS Smash completely shut down. So, this is, especially this year, Genesis is our biggest event. And it's also the first event of the year. So, it's like a huge, super exciting time to be a Melee fan. And I have been talking with Cami forever about how one time it would be so fun if we could just, like, spend it like other couples do Super Bowl Sunday, and we could just sit together and watch the event together, and I could explain what's happening and, like, have fun. And she has, like, one or two people that she knows to root for because, like, they went to UCI and so did she, so there's, like, a little Anteater camaraderie there, you know? And I'm just really excited to have that experience with her. And she said that we could do it this time at Genesis. Especially because, you know, I'm not sure if Mango's going to enter this year, but if he does, it may be his last Genesis. And Mango is my favorite player. He will always be my favorite player. I don't think there will ever be another player of the game like Mango, ever. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing to watch Melee. And whether he wins or loses, I think that it'll be so much fun if we get to hang out together and watch, like, the whole tournament, at least top 64 on, you know? Because it'll just be so much fun for me to share this with someone that I love so much. And for her to share her time and really try to actively be with me and watch this with me is really, really something sweet. It's something special. And I can't be happier about it. So she said that we were going to do that this Genesis, which means that on the 15th, I will take my comps exam, pick up Cami from Highland Park Station, and then drive home and go hang out and watch Genesis on the TV. And just, like, laze about, hang out, have fun, goof around. I can't wait. There are just so many things to be excited about, I think, even in such a stressful time. I gotta get over. And then we're planning on doing Valentine's Day the weekend after that. So, that's gonna be epic. And I don't know if I've talked about this before on the PEGCAST or in Batpeg episodes generally, but our, like, tradition for Valentine's Day is that we just hang out and have fun, and I buy a cute indie game for us to try to play together. And that might mean that I play the most, it might mean that Cami plays the most, and it might mean that it's co-op. It says I'm in the right lane. The correct lane. The sign above me says that, not my GPS. But I haven't decided what game I'll get yet. I haven't decided. This will come out after Valentine's Day. So, or I think it should come out after we've done it too. And I can just make sure it does. I can manufacture that, but Also, I was joking when I said whoever proctors the exam doesn't like their significant other. Like, that was a joke, I promise. But what was I just saying? Oh, I might get Later Alligator, which is a game created by Small Boo, which is like a husband and wife, I think, animation studio, who made this like really fun series called Batman Spider-Man, which was one of the ways I first got introduced to Cami. Is I showed her Batman Spider-Man, and we kind of bonded over that. Same with Kenzie, another beloved and loyal Penguin. I honestly I don't recognize the way it's taking me, because like it's so foggy that I can't see. So I can't like judge based on landmarks that I normally would. And the exits I'm taking like don't feel normal because I can't see them. So I don't know if I've ever driven this way. I know when I drove to Cami's place, it drove me a way that I almost never go. Like I haven't driven that way in probably multiple years. I don't think this is a new way though. I think this is a way that I've gone before. It's just a little hard to tell because of the lights. But this might be the way that I went with Kenzie, honestly, on the Camipeg episode. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting Later Alligator. I'm always keeping my eyes on this one game. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that one in case it's not out. But there are other games we could play too, like Bread and Fred, which is about two penguins. There is... I can't remember a bunch of them. There's Little Kitty, Big City. There's The Spirit and the Mouse, which we got. There's Another Crab's Treasure, technically, but I think I want to play that one myself. I can't remember a bunch of them right now, but I do have a big list of them. It's my Steam wish list. My Steam wish list is basically just full of games to get for Cami. And then also some stuff that I'm interested in as well. Like, I really want to play Kevin, and I really want to play Tunic. I do want to play Kevin with Cami, but Kevin is such an interesting experience that I wouldn't consider it like a Valentine's Day game for us. Kevin, by the way, is like it's more like an interactive experience type thing than a video game, where it just is a bunch of stuff and you have to figure out what you're looking at. I don't really know what the vibes are. I think they just show you a bunch of stuff and you have to like figure out how to interact with it to like understand the story of Kevin, who's like an immigrant to America. But in previous years, I've gotten A Short Hike. I've gotten Little Gator Game, which just got DLC, by the way. I think that flew under the radar for a lot of people. But Little Gator Game has DLC. It's like a new chunk of campaign. So if you played A Short Hike... Okay, if you haven't played A Short Hike, you have to play A Short Hike. If you have played A Short Hike, then you have to play Little Gator Game. If you have played Little Gator Game, then you got to get on that DLC. Yeah. That's basically it. So I still have to decide what game we're going to get. And then also another part of our tradition is to eat yummy chocolates. So I'm excited for that as well. I felt like I had so much to talk about. Well, I was going to talk about Zenshu. How much time is left in the drive? Yeah, I have enough time. So, I was super excited because this anime got announced by MAPPA, the studio, who are super well known and revered recently because of their great success with, I think they did Jujutsu Kaisen, right? I think they oversaw Jujutsu Kaisen. And then also the final season of Attack on Titan. Not just the final season, but like the last couple. So people are really like loving MAPPA. They're like one of the animation studios. And you can tell this is the case because as the episode opens for Zenshu, it like shows MAPPA huge and then it fades away. So you know really that that's something that they're saying will show off what this show is, right? Or like will advertise the show is what I'm basically trying to say. And then it was the trailer. Actually, I don't think I watched the trailer, just say spoiler free. But I read the like little blurb about what it was, and I saw the key art. The key art is this girl wearing a purple hoodie sitting at an animation desk, and it says this girl is like a super successful animator, and she basically has to direct a film, and it's a love film, and she can't do it because she doesn't know what love is like. And I was like, that sounds like the best thing of all time. So I boot her up, I start watching, and in episode 1, she's like, I have to write this thing. And they're like, will you delegate some of these tasks? And she's like, no. And also, do all of this all over again. It's not good enough. Every single one of them. And they're like, can you give us some advice? And she's like, I'll just do it myself then, and takes it. And then, you know, the woman walks away, and she's like, by the way, guys, you gotta throw out the shrimp lunches, because they're old. Then the main character eats one and dies. I personally think that she's in a coma, but she's dead. Like, come on, you know? And then you'll never guess what happens. She gets isekai'd. She gets transported to a fantasy world, the one of her favorite anime. And I'm sitting here like, no, this can't be. I was supposed to watch like a slice of life office drama about this girl who's like animating. Like, I'm supposed to be watching real people interact and stuff, but she gets transported to the world, and then she has her little magical animation thing, and it's like, draw, you have to draw, and she's like, what do I draw? Oh my god, help me. And it's like, you have to draw. And then everybody is like in trouble, and they're like, save us, help. And then she's like, I've got it. And then she puts it down, and then it plays a song where it sings the name of the show. It's like Zenshu, and she freaking draws super fast, and then she slams it on the table. She goes, I'm done. And then a big monster that she animated comes up and then saves the day, basically. And then she falls asleep for 3 days. And she says, wow, yeah, drawing all those keyframes would have taken me 3 days. And it's like, I get it the first time, but why do they keep telling me that it would have taken 3 days? They tell me after every time she draws that she slept for 3 days and that she drew 3 days worth of keyframes. Like, I get it. And, you know, I thought, like, oh, cool, she saved the day. I assume now she'll get, like, either transported back home and she'll, like, start working on the anime, but then get stuck again. Or she'll just get transported to a new anime, right? And then the episode ends, and I'm like, uh-oh. Is she, like, not done being isekai'd? Am I just watching an isekai? And then, sure enough, she stays! She stays, dude. And she's just, like, there now. And then, you know, like, she just has to save all these people from the cartoon she liked as a kid. And I guess she's probably going to learn some life lessons that help her with her animation job and also help her with the creative pursuit of the art that she's making. But like, come on! Oh, this is... I should slow down. It was probably right. I should be slower here. Oh, I do recognize where I am right now, actually. I do recognize this place. Despite not being able to see very well. Okie dokie, let me over, sir. Thank you, thank you. Wow, that guy's booking it. He's going so fast. He's like obliterating the speed limit, not just breaking it. But yeah, so I was pretty disappointed that it was an isekai. To which my roommate and girlfriend both said, why don't you drop it? And the first reason is because I don't drop shows. I tend not to drop them. I like to finish them all the way through and then give them a little rating on my anime list. And the second reason is that it's pretty good. I mean, like, I don't love that it's an isekai because it's so played out, but it's very unique and it looks great. The animation is wonderful. I just don't like when the characters act a little tropey. Which is, you know, just like a personal preference type of thing. The anime that I like to watch the most is anime where the characters feel like real people. Like when I was talking about The Colors Within and how it doesn't feel like we're just receiving a story. It feels like we're getting one important part of the characters' lives and we're just not seeing the rest of it. This person cannot be serious. Could you speed up? Don't go right in front of me and then stop to 10 miles below the speed limit. You silly Billy. I gotta merge. Awesome. Success. But yeah, it's also pretty good. I don't like tropes. I like when, like in The Colors Within, how it doesn't feel like it's just a story, like beginning, middle, and end, and I see the characters. It feels like this is a human, and I'm watching them live through a really important, formative part of their life. And they had life before that, and they had life after that. It really does away with Occam's razor, I think is what it's called. Which is like this storytelling principle that everything should have a purpose. So like if you see a horror film and there's like, I don't know, there's like a gun in a box in the cellar, then you can expect by the end of that movie that someone will have tried to use that gun, or like it was like evidence to frame someone or something, blah blah blah. Because everything that is shown should have a purpose related to the story. And The Colors Within really doesn't feel that way at all. It feels like it's just showing you the life of these people and how they're growing and learning and stuff. And there's so much in there that is... It makes the world feel authentic, and it makes these people feel like they're growing and they're human and they're discovering their lives in authentic ways. But it's not always relevant to the main story, the main plot, or the secondary plot, or tertiary plot even. It's just, you know, it's just these people who are people. And that's the kind of anime I prefer to watch, is anime where I can really, like, where you can read into characters' body language and think about what they're thinking and examine how their past might have shaped them and figure out, you know, like, not only who they are and what they're going to do in the moment, but also like what flaws are going to lead them down which paths and how those things might help them grow. Another couple shows that are like this are Hibike Euphonium, where there's just a lot to read into for Kumiko, especially Kumiko, but also everyone else's emotional states. Like Nozomi has so much to read into, which is in Liz and the Bluebird. Asuka has so much to read into. You only get a snippet of who she is, and that's not because we're not shown everything well enough. It's because that's all that Asuka shares, right? So I really love things like that. And also Frieren is like this. You can kind of figure out how Fern, Frieren, and Stark are all going to act, what parts of each other they admire, and the frustrations they have with one another, and how those crop up. And you can see how they cope with these sorts of frustrations, and how they have natural, loving relationships. Like Fern loves Stark, and also is so frustrated by him so often. And it's not like I hate you so much, rah! And then, like, actually, they don't hate you. It's like a tsundere type of thing. It's just like, she's frustrated by certain things about him, but she's reminded that it's all, you know, he's doing his best to look out for other people. And that's his main, like, core human trait. And she really admires that, so she can look past his faults. But it's not like they say, I can look past your faults. You're just left to experience these things and watch how these people grow. And you can see people's reactions in the background of shots. Like when, there's a scene where, in Frieren, there's a scene where, gosh, what's his name? The dwarf who is in the original, he's like Heimer or something. Whatever. It's something like that. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But he lifts up this rock, and Frieren and Fern give him like a little round of applause. They clap super like cute in the background of it. And then Frieren does a spell to make grapes sour. And then he does the cute little like claps applause thing. There's just so much to look at in every shot. There's so much to think about and read into about not just the plot and where it's going to go and what the characters are going to do next, but who the characters are and what drives them and how they're feeling about different struggles. Even when it's not the plot that you're supposed to be focusing on, these are things that you can just clearly see. And I think that's what's so beautiful about Frieren and what's so beautiful about a lot of other shows. But Zenshu is not like that. Zenshu has not been like that. Zenshu is about the plot. It's fine because it's like beautiful and the animation is super cool and it's got fun action and I enjoy the story that they're trying to tell. But it's not my kind of anime. It's not the kind of show that I would probably find myself watching if I got to pick like my top 5 anime of the year or whatever. Like, do I think it'll hit it? Probably not. So, that's just where I'm at. I watched 4 episodes, and it is indeed an isekai, even through episode 4. It's very unique. It's very fun. I really thoroughly enjoy the like art and the animation and the spectacle that they're providing, and I like some of the twists that they're putting on this isekai type of formula. That being said, isekai is not my genre. It just isn't. It's just not. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with that. I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima still. And that's been pretty fun, I guess. Yeah, I'm just frustrated by it still. Like, the most recent thing they did for fan service was... like, all the enemies they fight are, like, exceedingly weak. Like, they're terrible. But sometimes they struggle just because they want there to be tension in the episode, I guess. Even if there's literally no reason for them to struggle. And they introduced this, like, elite force that's literally just the Ginyu Force, and they all have their own stupid poses. And it's like, that's pretty cute, I guess, but just, like, we're spending so much time on the Ginyu Force right now, and I just wish that you would do anything new instead of that. And they've done new stuff, but all the new stuff that comes by is, like, passed away in an instant. The best part of the show is when they give you Easter eggs, like when the Ginyu Force shows up, or when freaking Goku references a move that he did forever ago, or when Goku, like, achieves a form that he did forever ago in some other Dragon Ball media. And also, they've like added some lore. So they added, like, the demon realm where Dabra is from, and also all the Namekians are from, and also all the Glinds is what they're calling them now are from, like Supreme Kai. And I'm fine with saying all that because Cammy's not going to remember specific names, and if she does, who cares, you know? But they've added a bunch of lore, like, by talking about that stuff, and that's been really fun because it's been, like, cool. They've added all this, like, backstory to why there are, like, different aliens that are so different than everyone else, right? Like, the Namekians are very different from the like humans and Saiyans and stuff, because they can create the Dragon Balls. Not, like, physically different, because there are other, like, the Yardrats are really different physically, and in Dragon Ball Super there are a bunch of aliens too that look really different, but the kind of magic they're doing is not all that different, but the kind of magic that Namekians are doing to create Dragon Balls is super different. So it's been nice to get, like, a little drip feed of cutesy little lore. They have also retconned some stuff, though, on accident, so they've been like, yeah, my dad, like, told me about, like, this land or whatever. Like, my dad used to live here. And it's like, why do you know that? You were born because as your dad died, you were spat out of an egg. Or your egg was spat out of him, and then you, like, hatched way later. And you're not supposed to know about any of this. And, like, when you went to planet Namek, you were like, oh, this is my home. Like, this is what it's like. So why is it now like, oh, actually, this is your home? Right? And then you've heard of some legendary Namekian. It's just frustrating when they retcon stuff when the whole point is like, this show sucks, but we're getting a tiny bit of cool backstory. So, whatever, man. I'm gonna get over it. In other recent news, guys, it's the Batpeg Gaming Hour, okay? Because I have a gaming PC now, and when Valorant very first came out, I used to watch this streamer, Hiko, Hiko, and he was like an old Counter-Strike pro who people used to say was like the unluckiest player because he was always very good and he was on very good teams, but they always choked at the end and he never won a trophy. He never won a major. Even though a lot of people feel like he had the skill to. I watched this little mini documentary about it. And so I would watch his team play Valorant. and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I'm having so much fun watching Hiko play. They actually ended up winning the first Masters event? I don't think it was Champs, and if it was Champs, then Champs was, like, different than it is now. Because I think it was online only. Like, I don't think there was LAN. But maybe I'm wrong. And regardless, Hiko would always play with his, like, saturation turned way up. So all his colors really pop. And his game, like, the reds are super, super red. So you can see your enemies a lot. And, you know, just the colors are brighter. So it, like, looks more fun. And I always wanted to do that so bad. But on a laptop with... At least on a laptop with a NVIDIA graphics card, that's not something you can do unless you just ran like some other software that turned up the saturation of your whole PC. And I couldn't really, like, performance-wise afford to have something like that running in the background the entire time. I mean, I could have, but I just didn't... It wasn't worth it, I didn't think. Because I was already running the game in, like, not super high resolution. So I could never do it. But I realized really recently, like, oh, dude, I have a gaming PC now. I can totally, like, I can actually do this now. Like, I can play with my bright colors. So, like, last week I turned it on and I was playing with my roommate. It's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. Everything looks so, like, bright and vibrant and colorful and fun. And I've been playing so much better, which is like placebo. Well, not placebo, but like random chance, I think. I think it's just like happened to correlate. But also, like, it might just be because I'm having more fun because the game looks like more fun to me. I like how bright the colors are when I turn this up, so it's been like really fun. So I just wanted to mention that. And then another thing to mention right now, that guy just fully ran a red light. Another thing to mention right now is that my stomach hurts so bad, guys. I was gonna do so much more work today, but my stomach hurts so bad. I woke up and it just like hurt terribly. I felt so sick. And I like ate some Tums. I like did everything I could for gas, you know, like I was eating toast. I ate a smoothie, both of which my girlfriend gave to me. She graciously made me toast and a smoothie, and I felt like a little princess, dude. I felt like so pampered. I was just like dying on her couch. Like, oh, my tummy, it hurts so bad. Ow, ow. And then she delivers me this yummy smoothie and this yummy toast. And it was so nice. That being said, my tummy still hurts. I don't feel ill anymore, but I do have like a sharp pain in my gut. And it hasn't gone away. So every time I take a footstep, like every time I step, it hurts my belly. It hurts my belly, Penguins. And that's not ideal, to be honest with you. If we're gonna be straight with each other right now, if we're gonna be 100% with one another, my tummy hurts, man. With like a sharp pain. And I began to wonder if it was this mushroom I ate, because it was a new kind of mushroom I'd never had before. Because last night, I went with my mom to this Chinese place that's near like my high school and where I used to live. And also a grocery store that my mom still goes to every once in a while. And then also where I used to get my hair cut. There's a bunch of stuff is there, I guess, because, you know, we used to live right there. And we went to this Chinese place, So funny, by the way. I guess I'll leave you hanging on that cliff about this, honestly, because I'm about to leave. And so next week on the PEGCAST, because there is going to be another one, I'm going to be driving again on Thursday because my interview at the University of Redlands is in person. So I'm going to be driving on Wednesday afternoon to my dad and grandparents because they live a little bit closer, and I'm going to spend the night there to make it so that I don't have to drive as far bright and early. But I'll tell you about that on the way there. And I'll also leave you hanging on that cliff about my funny experience at this Chinese restaurant. But basically, I ate this new kind of mushroom that I had not eaten before. I guess the mushroom wasn't new. It was just new to me. And so I thought maybe that was the problem. And I was like, maybe I'll just stay away from them. Cami looked it up. Apparently, only like it's exceedingly rare for someone to be allergic to that kind of mushroom. So I don't think it's that. I don't know what happened, to be honest. Like, I honestly have no idea. But, yeah. Oh, and when Cammy made me the smoothie, she said she put extra yogurt in it because it's good for upset tummies. And that made me want to cry. It made me want to cry right then and there. She's so kind to me. And she always thinking of me. And she always is being nice and doing her best for me. Oh. Okay, guys, I gotta grab some things from inside my car to get ready to get out. So I have to put on this bracelet so I don't lose it. I'm gonna grab my keys, put them at my legs, and then I have to grab my parking pass and my ID. Put the parking pass in my my windshield, put it on my mirror, and then got my ID. And now, we pray and we beg that there is a parking spot for us. Is that a spot? Do I just take that right now? Do I just take that right now, or do I go for a juicier spot, guys? Oh, that's a spot right there. I'm gonna have to go quick. We're gonna go upstairs and check. But we're gonna do it with haste. Because if there's not a spot here, we know there's a spot down there. Dude, Cybertruck. That's crazy. Cybertruck in the Occidental College parking lot. This person's gonna get their tires slashed. Not by me, but somebody might do it. They're particularly having a bad day. They're particularly crashing out. Oh, okay, there are no spots up here. I gotta go back down and snag a spot. Hopefully that one we saw hasn't been taken. Oh, that would be such a heartbreaker. I'd be really surprised, though, if it got taken. No spots over there. Those are all handicap as well, so I can't park in those. And then, is that a spot? Is that a spot? It's not a spot. What are they going to do, tow me? Why is that not a spot? So they can get in that door. Dang, they might tow me. Are these not spots? Like, I don't understand. Oh, wait, that's a spot. That's a spot, and it's quite close to the stairs, to the stairwell. Awesome. Penguins, that's a big success, to be honest with you. It's a huge success. Oh, that guy's got a Cyndaquil, Pokemon Cyndaquil plushie in his car. Oh, that's so cute. Well, I guess if anybody has any ideas about what I might be allergic to, here's what I got. I got green beans, and there was some sauce, but I've had it before. So I know it's vegan. And I also got fried noodles, and I also got dumplings. And that's what I ate for Chinese food. So I really don't think that I got sick from there. So I guess if anybody has any ideas, let me know. I was going to say make it the comment down below, but I don't think that that's a good one because, like you wouldn't even know. Because I really don't think I got my food poisoning from the Chinese food. And it was delicious. It was so good. If you'd like, you can... I'll give you 2 comment belows because I don't want to force you to say this, but if you would like, then comment below. Batpeg, good luck on your interview this Tuesday. Because I won't record another PEGCAST until after I've done it. So Batpeg, good luck on your interview this Tuesday. And then if you don't want to say that because it's like already passed or whatever, and maybe I didn't get in and you know that and you don't want to like bring it up, or for any other reason, like maybe you just don't want to say it, then you can comment below if you would rather have fried noodles or fried rice. Comment below, Batpeg, I'd rather have fried noodles than fried rice. Or comment below, Batpeg, I'd rather have fried rice than fried noodles. Comment below. I want to go, right now, me personally, I want to go back to my room and drink a sip or 2 of Naked Juice Mighty Mango. So, anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Like, subscribe, do all that great stuff, and yes, goodbye.